So in this discussion we are going to discuss Lucidis EDOF IOL. So here I have written a book with the name of Chashme-Bina. So this is a few verses from the back title of the book. आँख का बिनाई से मंजर का अपने अक्स से. The relationship of eye with vision and the scene with its reflection. रिश्ता नाजुक सा है लेकिन जोड़ते जाते हैं हम. It's very delicate, but we keep on stitching them together. मोतियाबंद आँख से हम चुरा लेते हैं यूं. We steal the cataract from the eye. अदसहाय चश्म को जोड़ते जाते हैं हम and keep on implanting the new artificial intraocular lenses. एक अख से मुंतशिर को देखना है मुर्तकिस. I want to see a broken image composed again. रेज़ाहाय आईना जोड़ते जाते हैं हम. So that's why I'm sticking together the broken pieces of the mirror. शीशागर ठहरे हैं हम गिरे शीशों की ज़िया. Our job is to keep on manufacturing the lenses and mirrors. That's why the shattered pieces of the lenses and mirrors सांस रोके दिल को थामे खोलते जाते हैं हम. With adrenaline shooting in our blood vessels, keep on repairing the corneal tears. So what is the concept of a dove? You see, there was a time when you know the difference between spherical lens and aspheric lens. What is an aspheric surface?
Right.
And what is a spherical surface?
Cornea is an aspherical surface to prevent spherical abrasions on these ones.
You know the conoid of Sturm?
Yes.
So if there is a spherical surface, it will not give you, regular sphere will not give you a point focus. It will give you circle of least confusion. That's what we used to read and understand, the conoid of Sturm. Why does it happen? Because the ray from the far periphery of the lens is refracted more as compared to ray near to the principal axis of the lens. Paraaxial ray, which is nearer to principal axis, will be deviated less as compared to a ray striking the lens far periphery. So that's what gave rise to circle rather than a point focus. And by introduction of asphericity, that conoid of Sturm was collapsed into point focus. You just varied the curve of the lens in such a manner that the rays from all parts of the lens become to a point focus. So that was the concept of aspheric lens. And cornea is a prolate surface. So naturally, aspheric lens has a prolate surface. So the term premium IOL was coined with the introduction of aspheric lenses. What this EDOF does, they reintroduced spherical abrasion in the center of the lens. This is how the technology moves in circles. You collapsed a conoid of Sturm with a lot of effort and introduced a spheric lens. And then the patient wants to see both at distance and near. And there is no lens which can accommodate like the natural lens. There is no lens which can be a rugby ball and a football. So, to get that bifocality, the rings or the zones were introduced in the same monofocal lens and multiple foci was offered to the patient, and we started expecting that the patient's brain and neuroadaptation will pick the right focus at right distance. That's the concept of multifocal lenses. So then what was wrong with spherical lens? If the neuroadaptation can pick one focus for near and intermediate focus, and all the foci are there at a single time, then what was wrong with the spherical lenses? If the neuroadaptation can pick one focus from a trifocal lens, why neuroadaptation can't pick one focus from a spherical lens, from spherical lenses? So this is what it is. That's why these lenses are dependent on neuroadaptation. You see, here is a button which is spherical in nature in the center, and this button provides a range of foci for near vision in EDOF, extended depth of focus technology, and rest of the lens is spheric, which is meant for distant vision. And this intelligent thinking has got rid of many problems with multifocal IOLs. So this is the concept on which this EDOF Lucidis IOL is constructed. Here is the central button which is spheric and which is meant for near vision range. Rest of the lens is aspheric and is meant for far vision. The purpose of this study was to evaluate this novel Lucidis 124M EDOF lens for safety and post-op results. The procedure of intraocular lens implantation is as simple as we are used to. You complete a regular phaco and just be careful. Here I am using the Rayner injector to inject the lens. The distance between the haptics of this particular lens is very wide and it carries an atypical design which confers it excellent centration once implanted inside the eye. But you need to be very careful. If you inject it anterior to the capsular bag or one of the prongs is placed anteriorly, it can make your life hell at that point, because it is very difficult to readjust it. So be careful while injecting it. Always do it under vision. Here is another case. A successful phacosurgery has been completed. The bag is inflated with the help of viscoelastic material and never implant or dial lens in shallow AC. This is one basic lesson for the new emerging ophthalmologists. The lens comes in a blister pack. You take the lens out and then this is a Contamac injector. In previous video we used Rayner injector. Here we are using a Contamac injector. You load the lens carefully right under microscope. And make sure that the optic and haptics of the lens are not caught in the nozzle. And please don't trust, especially with this lens, don't let your assistant do it. Do it under microscope, under your own vision. Once you have really loaded it well, in this Contamac injector there is no lock. So you have to just keep your finger so that the nozzle is not displaced back. Rest of the procedure is same. Preferably 3 mm incision is needed. Once you are able to see the nozzle inside the eye, you are safe. Point it right toward the center of the capsular bag, inject it slowly and inject it under vision. You see the lower haptic is opening up and there is a very wide distance between two prongs of the haptic. Though it is a modification of Rayner lens, but it's very different. And this design makes it excellent lens for centration. And make sure your inferior or leading haptic is opening up inside the bag. So once you are there, The lower leading haptic is here. You can simply implant the trailing haptic inside the bag and the lens is well centered. So we implanted 50 eyes of 40 patients in this manner from November 2017 to October 2019, and then we followed them up one day, one week, 1 month and 6 months, and every year thereon. And the quality of life was assessed by interviewing the patient at least 3 months post-operatively. And in quality of life, the important questions are for VN TV watching, intermediate VN computer work and laptops, and near VN of course reading the newspapers. So all the lenses, the intraoperative precautions I have already advised you, we had to exclude one lens because in spite of all the precautions we were not able to center it in the bag properly, and during the manipulation the bag got ruptured and I had to replace that lens. So that was not included in this study. So that's why I am giving warning again and again. Be careful while injecting the lens. Don't trust your assistants. Otherwise, the study was uneventful. All the patients had excellent far and near vision, and especially the patients who had bilateral implantation enjoyed very good vision. And as usual, there were few patients with bilateral implantation. Most of the patients had, few patients had monocular lens, monofocal lens in other eye, and a lot of patients had phakic eye on the other side. Definitely they will get it implanted in due course of time. So conclude, the Lucidis EDOF technology IOL appears safe, economical and effective option for phaco-IOL surgery for the patient wanting less spectacle dependence. That is very important. Don't promise spectacle independence. मैं कहता हूँ कि आपको ऐनक के ऊपर आपका इंहिसार कम हो जाएगा, instead of saying कि आपको ऐनक की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. And this statement is true in all the multifocal IOLs. So the bigger sample size studies are needed, and of course comparative studies are needed before drawing the final conclusion. But in these small sample 50 IOL study, we have found it very effective and very economical option because it comes almost in the price of a spheric IOL. तो आँख का बिनाई से मंजर का अपने अक्स से रिश्ता नाजुक सा है लेकिन जोड़ते जाते हैं हम. Thank you very much for your attention.